You're listening to William Tells, a production of Will Suit Music in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, hello, my friend, and welcome to William Tells. I'm Will Suit, and I'm very happy to have you here with me today. So grab a cup of tea or some refreshments and sit down for a few minutes. I have some resources to share with you today from our website, and I'll be telling you more about that today on this episode of William Tells. Today I'm going to share some resources that you can find at willsuitmusic.com. Our website is rather new, but the resources I think you'll find timeless as you're teaching in your vocal studio with resources that I've written in my series called The Owl Says Who. We're going to look today at the resources from The Owl Says Who that reinforce the pentascale. The pentascale, penta meaning 5, is a 5-tone scale that we teach youngsters, and it's kind of their introduction into solfege often. It involves 5 syllables, 5 tones: do, re, mi, fa, sol. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Today we're going to focus on one of the basics that we start with, the 5-tone scale, the pentascale. And I've chosen 4 songs that I want to use in this episode of William Tells, and when we come back we'll get to the first one of those. In the meantime, tell one of your friends to join you today. They can go download the podcast and listen along, share some notes. You can also write us if you have questions about what's going on. Just write to me. My name is Will, so write to Will, W-I-L-L, Will at willsuitmusic.com. Love to hear from you. We'll be back. So this first song is called Sol Fa Sofa. Sol Fa Sofa. And it was inspired by a student that I was teaching, actually suggested. She said, Mr. Will, I would love it if someone had a song about a sofa, since I'm having to learn do, re, mi, fa, sol. And if you go backwards, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol, fa. And we usually say sol as so when we're vocalizing it, and you'll find it that way in a lot of solfege curriculum and exercise. So I wrote this song called Sol Fa Sofa. It's silly. It is funny to kids at times. It's funny to me, but it's fun to sing, and they don't realize they're reinforcing their understanding of the scale. Here it is, Sol Fa Sofa.
I am sitting on my sofa. I just took a nap on my sofa, reaching deep inside my sofa. What is this I found me do?
So there you have it. And one thing you'll find with my resources in The Owl Says Who, most of them have solfege as a verse. So instead of singing the actual words, you would sing the solfege that goes with those notes. That's an important tool because it begins to reinforce the scale subtly, and it also reinforces good sight reading with our young students. So encourage them to sing their songs in solfege or on a vowel, but especially solfege as they're learning them. And I think you'll have a stronger musician there in the end. The next song we're going to look at is called Owl in the Tree. And my whole series is built around owls. The reason I did that is because the owl says ooh. And ooh is one of those pure vowels that we use to teach the lifted soft palate. And when the soft palate is lifted and the voice is open and free, then we hear the expression that's possible from the singer. Owl in the tree.
What is that I see high up in that tree, staring down at me? It's an owl I know, big round eyes aglow, staring down below. When I fall asleep from the forest deep, where the shadows creep, I can hear your sound echo all around, high above the ground.
Oh my, that brings back a few memories. The girl singing on that with me was Alishka Bear. She has a beautiful voice, and she brings to the stage such a wonderful sound. And I loved working with her in the studio. She had her own ideas about how it should sound, and that made it even better. So there you go. Go look for her on some recordings. The next song is fun for the kids that love to get outside. I remember as a child going outside with my father sometimes and sit in the lawn and look at the stars. And we lived way out in the forest, and you could see the stars. It wasn't like they were darkened by the city lights. There was no city around. It was just a small town and then a big forest behind our house. And I love looking at the stars at night.
Venture outside on a dark, clear night. Look high above you where stars are beaming bright. Dance across the night at the speed of light. Playful shooting star. Hide behind the line of the forest pine. Twinkle brightly, tiptoe lightly, playful shooting star. Yawning, you're sleepy, but stay awake. These playful stars disappear at the daybreak. Dance across the night at the speed of light. Playful shooting star. Hide behind the line of the forest pine. Twinkle brightly, tiptoe lightly, playful shooting star.
Doesn't that make you want to get out into the forest, maybe go camping this weekend and and look at the stars. Oh, what fun. Okay, I have one more song to reinforce this idea today for you, and it's called Frozen Pine Cone. If you haven't figured out by now, I like to have fun with my songs. And I want my students to enjoy their lessons, and another instructor and I sometimes debate over whether or not music lessons should be fun, and I think they should. I think we should have a good time. So on to Frozen Pine Cone. Frozen Pine Cone is built around the pentascale as well. Have fun with it with your student. Learn the story. Here it is, Frozen Pine Cone.
Walking through the woods one day, I looked up in a tree. There I saw a frozen pine cone hanging over me. Then on a limb of that snow-covered tree, out jumped a squirrel and that cone fell down on me. Frozen pine cone high up in that tree. Frozen pine cone falling down on me. As the pine cone tumbled down, it landed with a thud right between my eyes and knocked me down into the mud. Startled, I lay there and gazed at the tree. I saw that squirrel point and laugh hysterically. Frozen pine cone high up in that tree. Frozen pine cone falling down on me.
As I mentioned earlier, all of my resources in The Owl Says Who, with a couple of exceptions, have the solfege underneath and as an alternate verse. And that's really where you should start the song, because the student needs to focus on the rhythm and the tune first in learning a song, and then they get the structure down and they start expressing it. Sometimes you can go at it from the other direction. Frankly, I like to, but it's probably a stronger approach to reinforce the solfege and the rhythm first. 4 great resources you can go right now and download at willsuitmusic.com. And they're very nominally priced, I think. So you can download those and copy them to use in your studio for your students. I'm okay with that. As long as you're not selling them, I'm all right with that. But go find that resource and use it in your studio today. So in an upcoming episode of William Tells, we'll be looking at other resources that you'll see on my website under The Owl Says Who. And also, I would like for you to go there and look around at some of the other music available. We mentioned Alishka Bear earlier, who recorded on the Owl in the Tree song. She's recorded on several of my songs, and you can hear her on Il Gufo Il Topo. That's a children's opera that is available on willsuitmusic.com, or you can listen to it on your favorite streaming service. There are also a couple of episodes of William Tells that cover that opera. I recently did an interview with Alishka, and we'll have that on a future episode so that you can hear her takes on being a part of that project. Well, that's all the time we have today on William Tells. I hope you found it useful and can use some of this resource in your studio and teaching. I have some other resources there as well that we'll talk about on future episodes. But for now, remember that music is the constant voice beneath the progressions of life.
You've been listening to William Tells. William Tells is a production of Will Suit Music in Atlanta, Georgia.